Hello Meno Movers, it is Kara here and I'm excited to bring you through this mobility and stretching session. This is a dynamic session, so it's one that you could do as a standalone, potentially on a rest day, or a routine that you could do before even a strength session is going to help you. There's a bit of hip, there's a bit of upper body stuff. It's a great wee routine, so hip play, join me and let's start off with a cat-cow. So coming down on all fours here, we're going to use our breath and just open everything up. Okay, bring the knees out a wee bit, hands under your shoulders. You're going to take a big breath in, curl the spine, tuck the chin, and let the breath out and release the shoulders. Bring the head up and push the belly down and use the breath and come again. We're going to do a few of these. Big breath in, release the shoulders and eyes up, lift the neck. Go at your own pace with these. Okay, you should be able to get a little bit deeper using that breath each time. Good. These sessions are designed for you to be able to do over and over again, okay? So obviously as we are in peri or post-menopause, we need to really focus on that recovery aspect of our training. So doing these is only going to be beneficial. Stretching everything out as things get a little bit tighter. All right, we're actually going to go into a downward dog. So we're going to stay on all fours, but we're going to come up on our toes. Push the heels down, bring the chest through. Okay, just going to do a few pulses there. Now while we're here, we're going to just pedal out those legs and give those calves a good stretch. Okay, if you're someone that does a bit of walking, a bit of hiking, or even to some of our lower body strength sessions here, you might find your calves are a little bit tight. Feels really good. Now if you need a bit of relief from this one, you can come back through, drop the knees, pull back into kind of like a child's pose, and then come back up again. Bring the head through, dip the chest through, pulse it out and get a little bit deeper, and then go back into your pedal. But you'll know what feels right for your body. You'll know where your sore spots are, where your tight spots are. So just work with those. We're all different. Okay, and I'm coming back into my child's pose just to stretch out the shoulders and then back up. I tend to spend about let's say 30 to 45 seconds on each sort of stretch. All right, we're coming down into a runner's lunge twist. This is another one of my favorites. So staying on all fours on the mat, on the floor, you're gonna drive one knee forward, so it's on the outside of your hands. Drive the knee forward, and then I want you to just press it out just ever so slightly. You'll feel a wee pull in your glute, but we're just actually trying to open the hips up here. So just kind of rock that leg backwards and forwards. Okay, and once you've found a comfortable position, I want you to see if you can leave it there. Drop that hand back down. Now we're going to rotate and open up that upper body. So the hand closest to that foot, you're going to rotate around, open up that spine, pull that shoulder back, follow it with your eyes, and then we're going to come back down and thread it through that other arm. Rotate up and through. Keep it moving, keep pushing that knee out to keep opening up the hips. This one here is kind of working lots of areas. And through. I'm going to do one more on this side and then I'm going to change sides. Okay, put that hand back down, drop that leg down, pull back into that child's pose just for a moment, and then let's do the other side. So, foot comes through, okay, on the outside of that hand, push that knee out. You might find one side slightly tighter than the other. This for me is the tighter side for some reason. We tend to favour obviously different sides of our body. Okay, I'm going to push that hip out, just open it up a wee bit. Now I'm going to start my rotation. So rotating around, follow it with your eyes. Oh, there goes a wee click. And then thread it back through the other side. That's the way. Let's just do a few here. Runner's lunge twist. Not just for runners, for all of us. Let's do two more. You might feel that hip opening up. All right, bring that hand back to the mat, drop that knee, come back into that child's pose, pull. All right, we're doing another hip opener here, and again, this is another one that I do quite often. You're gonna sit down on your butt, you're gonna drop your feet to the ground, okay? So they're about shoulder width apart. I'm gonna put my hands on the ground here, you're gonna drop those knees either side. Okay, this is called a 90-90 hip stretch. Okay, keep it moving, you'll feel a wee stretch through the hips here. Try and keep the feet in the same place. Okay, some people can do this. Well, I can do it, but I tend to, my body often shuffles forward. So if you can do it without hands on the ground, it's a little bit trickier, but absolutely fine to put your hands down Drop the knees all the way to the ground if you can, but only if you can. Everyone's got different range of movement, different range of motion, but these sort of movements are really good to develop that mobility, make things a little bit more flexible, which does help with our recovery, reduces our risk of injury, all of the things. Do a couple more. Next up, we're going into a nice hamstring stretch. Okay, if you've been doing any RDLs, so deadlift movements, you might find you've got tight hamstrings. So let's get those stretched out. Okay, so we're actually coming up on our feet. Okay, up on your feet. Now bring the feet out about just wider than your shoulders. Okay, you're going to come down, so hinging at the hips here. Come down and grab your ankles. Okay, you'll actually feel that stretch there as you come down, that big hamstring stretch. You're going to drop the bum down, keep the elbows inside the knees, and then you're going to drive through your heels and push up. Okay, drive through your heels and push up. Now in the bottom here, you can open the hips up a little bit more, push the elbows out. Okay, you see what I did there? So I sat down in that bottom position just a little bit longer. Okay, but otherwise just keep pumping them out and feel that big, beautiful hamstring stretch. That's the way. We're actually going to add on another stretch. I didn't have it in my plan, but here we go. We're going to add on another hamstring stretch. Do one more here. Come back up, just shake it out a wee bit. We're going to do some walking carpet rolls, I guess I call them. Okay, so you're going to do one foot in front of the other, rolling up the carpet. Take little steps, rolling up the carpet, and this time you're working one hamstring at a time, rolling up the carpet. That's the way, little steps. Let's go back the other way. Keep it moving, keep it nice and dynamic as we really stretch out those cold muscles to begin with, but they should be nice and loose and warm once you finish these movements. All right, shake it out. Let's just open up the upper body. So bring the feet out nice and wide. We're going to do a big overhand reach, but instead of just staying in one position, we're going to rock. Feel that big stretch along your lats. Big reach. Okay, let's go the other side. Oh, that side's tighter. I think because I carry Polly on one side of my body, you know, as mothers, you tend to favour one side, which isn't a good thing. I often find one side's just that little bit tighter. All right, I'm going to go back to the other side and do one more on each side. All right. All right, next one is another one of my favourites. You could do this holding it like a broomstick or a towel or a band. We're actually going to open up through the shoulders, through the chest. Big circles. I pull these pass-throughs. Often in the warm-ups that you might have in your program, you might be holding a stick, okay, or you pass it through. And if you don't have a stick, you can use, like I said, a towel, a band, kind of anything that you can hold two sides to. Open it up. You might start wide and you start gradually moving those hands in as you feel everything warming up. We're going to finish off this session in a moment, and it's up to you whether you finish here or you want to add a few more stretches of your own. But I like to finish these ones, especially if it's a standalone stretching session, not one I'm doing before, say, a strength session. I like to finish with my legs up the wall, close down the eyes, take a few deep breaths, and that's it. Feels good. But thanks for joining me on this one, team. Remember, you can do this as many times as you need to, as many days as you need to, and enjoy it. If you have any requests for me to do some on-demand sessions, please hit me up. I'm more than happy to do lots of these. I think it's great to have the option of having a bank of exercises. But if you want to join me now and putting your legs up the wall, feel free. Otherwise, I will see you soon. I'm going to close down my eyes, legs up the wall, let the blood come down. Big breath in. Long exhale out. Stay there if you need to. I will let you go. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in.